This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, and especially at the moment, I do hope you're well. Now, first of all, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who showed up for Friday's live stream. I think I called it the Time Gentlemen Please live stream. We're doing it all again on Friday, 5 PM UK time. I think we'll call it the Lockdown Lock-In or something like that. But basically, it's a live stream where we're all going to hopefully show up with a beer and have a chat and have a laugh and just generally put the world right, because it kind of needs it at the moment, doesn't it? Anyway, on to the business of the day. I was contacted by one of my Patreon supporters who asked that if I would do a bit of an analysis or a look at a certain song by a certain band who are, well, let's say they are kind of one of the preeminent bands in the southern rock genre. So this is a song by them that we're going to be looking at today, a little bit of it. And if I just tell you, it's not a song about a bird that is free. It's kind of their other big hit that we're going to look at. Don't say it. So that's the song we're going to be taking a look at, the main guitar solo from that song, which sounds like this. So there you go. Now, as you could tell, I had to record that in several little lumps. Usually when I do one of these solo videos, I spend a day or so tabbing the solo out. Then, you know, I could spend a few hours learning it. Then I do take after take after take, trying to get the perfect take. I was in a bit of a rush today, so I just kind of did it all in a few lumps like that. But you get the idea. Incidentally, if you want the jam track for that solo and the full tab for it in both Guitar Pro and PDF format, then all you got to do is head over to my Patreon. $3 a month gets you all of the tab content for all of these videos that I do. You also get once monthly Patreon only tab and solo to look at, video demonstration and or video performance and full tab. This month, or coming up in April, 1st of April, it's going to be a classic BB King solo that we're putting under the microscope. You also get, if you sign up for the Patreon, a free course of your choice, and you also get a once monthly Patreon only kind of radio show podcast kind of thing, where I witter on about whatever's on my mind and play some cracking good tunes. So loads of great stuff there for $3 a month, and it helps me keep the lights on around here. So if you've already signed up, thank you. If you're thinking about signing up, just do it, and thank you anyway. Anyway, right, back to the matter at hand, this solo that we're examining today. What I've done is just kind of done a basic overview of what's happening in the solo, so you can kind of see what ideas and what concepts are possibly going through the player's mind as this solo was tumbling out of his fingers. Here it is. Okay, so the solo is largely using G major pentatonic. Now, that's because we're playing over a D chord, then to a form of C, C add 9, and then to G. And I've always, up till now, thought of this solo as being centred around a D tonality. These three chords, the D, the C, and the G, put us squarely in the key of G major. There is no other key where those three chords will coincide. But I've always kind of thought of it as being more based around the D chord, which kind of puts it into a Mixolydian mode kind of thing. But when I recorded the jam track for it and ended it on the D, I don't know if like me, when you heard it ending on that D, it sounded just a little bit unfinished. So I'm going to reappraise my opinion. I think it's very much centred around a G major tonality, and that is why G major pentatonic is predominantly the main scale in this solo. We begin with some, kind of open position. Position 1 pentatonic licks based around that kind of thing. And then pretty soon after that we head up to the 12th fret for the same pattern but an octave higher. Let me just shift around so you can see that pattern there. And we do have at this point one extra note creeping in, namely the C note. We get that by bending this A note here up 3 semitones like that for that kind of lick. And after that comes the scary bit, which isn't really that scary once you kind of get an angle on it. We've basically got a series of licks that are based around this little pull-off figure like that. Okay, and the only thing that changes between each one of these licks is which note you're pulling off from. So what happens here is we start off with one pull off from the 14th to the 12th. Then we do 2 stretching all the way up to the 17th fret. 2 of those. Then 5 from the 16th fret. Then 1 more at the 17th fret, then 2 at the 14th fret, then 3 more at the 17th fret. And it's similar in nature to that famous lick on the outro solo of Sultans of Swing, you know, it's that kind of thing. All you got to do is just be really, really confident that you know which note you're going for next. A lot of the time when you're playing or attempting to play something that's a little bit rapid or a little bit fast, the problem with attaining the speed isn't necessarily with your fingers, it's with what's going on between your ears, thinking about where do I go next? Oh yes, it's there. It's that little nanosecond of thinking time that if you can eliminate that, the speed will usually come, providing you've got no inherent problems with technique, that is. But if you see when I'm doing this, I'm reaching up, obviously my little finger's got to go up to there, but in order to give me the stretch to do that, I'm using the second finger for this note here on the D string at the 14th fret, so I can, if I was to do it like that, as you would normally kind of assume that you would play that kind of thing, it does make that 17th fret stretch a little bit tricky, so just watch out for that. Okay, after that we come out of it into basically another little pentatonic thing. That little run like that, you can see this is where we get one of the other notes that is in the solo that isn't in the G major pentatonic, just a little B flat passing note there, which is kind of giving it a slightly bluesy edge, because that would be like the minor third of the chord, so minor over major gives you that bluesy kind of feel. Then we do a little bit more. What comes next? Let me just have a look at the music stand, and oh yes, at this point here we have the about a bar and a bit of just really kind of living on that high G note there, adding vibrato to it, and then we come out of that into like a kind of a bendy little lick like that, and then we do a just a straight ahead little pentatonic descent there. Once again, adding that B flat note in. So he's obviously choosing that note to give it that bluesy kind of tension. It's not a coincidence that he's including it. After that, we kind of reascend the pentatonic scale again largely via what's the lick? Some kind of lick like that. And again, you can see it's all just G major pentatonic all the way. Then we're into the final home straight, really. It's some kind of lick like that. Once again, just descending the G major pentatonic largely through that. And he does throw an open string in there as well. And once again, we have that A sharp, B flat kind of passing note coming in there. Then the solo concludes with the pretty well-known riff for the song, which is just based around the chords. We've got a D chord, or you can think of the D as having the F sharp note in the bass. The D has an F sharp in it, obviously. But putting that there, you can make this little lick. Transpose that idea down to C. And then into the G coming off the open strings. That kind of thing. So that's a basic overview of what's going on in the solo, and hope you found it useful. So there you go, just that little fast tricky bit with all the pull-offs in it to to navigate. All you really want to do for that is just make sure you absolutely 110% know where each next note is before you play it. And secondly, I wouldn't worry about all of the getting all of the actual pull-off frets in exactly the same sequence as is there. I'll bet, because it is just such a random, kind of tornado of notes, I can't think of any other word to call it, that, what is it, it's there's 1 at the 14th fret, 2 at the 17th, 5 at the 16th, 1 at the 17th, 2 at the 14th and 3 at the 17th. That doesn't seem to me to have any kind of symmetry or regularity to it. It was just what he played at the time, and I would wager that any other time, on any other day, a snapshot of the song would have been just that little bit different, because it would have been a different combination of pull-off frets. So don't worry too much about that. Just get the fluency, and as I say, get the the certainty of it in your mind as to where you're going to go next. And that pretty much is all I've got for you today. I'll be back tomorrow with finally the overview of what my Play Lead Guitar the Easy Way course looks like on the Fret Zealot. We've finally got all the bugs ironed out of that, and I will also just mention, in case you didn't see the live stream on Friday, that Making the Modes Easy is now a course also which is available for the Fret Zealot. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope you found the video useful, entertaining, inspiring, and all of the rest of it. And if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it? And don't forget, if you're wanting the tabs for all of this sort of stuff that I'm putting in these YouTube videos, then sign up for the Patreon. $3 a month, you get loads of great stuff in return. And I'll just take this opportunity now to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. And I'll see you all again tomorrow. Bye for now, folks.